Dr. Elena Reyes pressed her palms against the cold observation deck window, her breath fogging the reinforced glass. Beyond the transparent barrier, Earth hung like a fragile blue marble against the infinite darkness of space. The International Space Research Station hummed with its usual mechanical symphony, but tonight, something felt different. Something felt wrong. "Elena, you need to see this." The voice belonged to Marcus Chun, her colleague, and the station's lead astrophysicist. His usual calm demeanor had cracked, replaced by something she rarely heard in his voice: fear. She turned from the window and floated across the zero-gravity corridor toward the main research lab. The station's artificial lighting cast harsh shadows across the metallic walls, making the journey feel longer than it actually was. When she entered the lab, she found Marcus hunched over the primary telescope interface, his fingers dancing across holographic displays that projected streams of data into the air around him. "What am I looking at?" Elena asked, pulling herself into position beside him. Marcus didn't answer immediately. Instead, he manipulated the display, zooming in on a specific region of space. The image showed what appeared to be a distant comet, cataloged as 3I Atlas, discovered only 6 months earlier by ground-based telescopes. It was an interstellar visitor, originating from beyond our solar system, following a hyperbolic trajectory that would eventually carry it back into the cosmic void. "Look at the spectral analysis from the past 3 hours," Marcus said, his voice barely above a whisper. Elena studied the data, her scientific mind automatically processing the information. Then she saw it. Her blood ran cold. The object wasn't behaving like a comet anymore. The infrared signature had changed dramatically. Where there should have been the typical pattern of ice sublimation and gas emission, there was instead something else entirely. The readings showed organized energy patterns, pulsing in regular intervals. It was as if the object was alive, breathing. "That's impossible," Elena breathed. "Comets don't generate electromagnetic fields like that. Not naturally." "That's what I thought too," Marcus replied. "But look at this." He pulled up another display, showing gravitational wave measurements from the LIGO detectors on Earth. 12 hours ago, they picked up a gravitational anomaly, weak but distinct. The source. He paused for effect. 3I Atlas. Elena felt her stomach drop. Gravitational waves required massive cosmic events, colliding black holes, neutron stars spiraling into each other, or the explosive death of stars. A comet, even an unusual one, shouldn't produce detectable gravitational disturbances. "We need to alert mission control," she said, reaching for the communication panel. Marcus grabbed her wrist, stopping her. "I already tried. There's a problem. Communications are experiencing interference. Not from our equipment. From outside." "Outside? What do you mean?" "The interference is coming from the direction of 3I Atlas. It's blocking specific frequencies, Elena, the ones we use for deep space communication. The implications settled over them like a suffocating blanket. If something was deliberately interfering with communications, that suggested intelligence, intent, and that changed everything. Over the next 6 hours, the situation deteriorated rapidly. The rest of the station's crew gathered in the main lab. Commander Sarah West, a veteran astronaut with 15 years of experience, Dr. Yuki Tanaka, the station's quantum physicist, and Lieutenant James Morrison, their military liaison from the United States Space Force. "Show them what you showed me," Elena told Marcus. The astrophysicist displayed the data on the main screen. The room fell silent as everyone absorbed the information. Commander West was the first to speak. "How fast is it moving?" "That's the disturbing part," Marcus answered. "When we first detected it 6 months ago, its velocity was consistent with a typical interstellar object, 0.2% the speed of light. But in the past week, it's been accelerating. Current speed is now 0.8% the speed of light and increasing." "Comets don't accelerate like that," Yuki interjected. "Not without something pushing them." "What about solar wind?" "Solar wind can't account for this magnitude of acceleration," Marcus explained. "Whatever's happening, it's coming from the object itself." Lieutenant Morrison leaned forward, his military training evident in his posture. "Could it be a weapon? Something from another nation?" No human technology can do this, Elena said firmly. We're talking about an object that originated from interstellar space, traveled for possibly thousands of years, and is now exhibiting behavior that defies our understanding of physics. This isn't terrestrial. The word hung in the air, unspoken but understood by everyone. Extraterrestrial. Commander West made the decision. We need to get word to Earth, regardless of the interference. Morrison, work on finding alternative communication frequencies. Tanaka, I want you analyzing those gravitational signatures. Chun, Reyes, keep monitoring 3i Atlas. I want to know everything about this object's trajectory and composition. We have protocols for this scenario. People, let's follow them. The crew dispersed to their tasks, but Elena couldn't shake the feeling of impending doom. She returned to the observation deck, needing a moment away from the screens and data. The vast emptiness of space had always brought her comfort, a reminder of humanity's small but significant place in the cosmos. Now, that emptiness felt threatening. Her communicator chirped. Elena, get back here. Now. Marcus's voice carried an urgency that made her push off immediately toward the lab. When she arrived, the entire crew had already gathered. On the main screen, 3i Atlas had changed again. The object was no longer showing the characteristics of a comet. Instead, it had begun to unfold. Is that real time? Commander West asked. Yes, Marcus confirmed. It started 3 minutes ago. They watched in stunned silence as the cosmic anomaly transformed before their eyes. Layers of what they had assumed was ice and rock peeled away, revealing something underneath. Geometric patterns emerged, too precise to be natural. Metallic surfaces reflected starlight in ways that spoke of engineering rather than random cosmic formation. It's a ship, Yuki whispered, or a probe, or something we don't have words for. The object continued to unfold, like a mechanical flower blooming in the vacuum of space. As it expanded, new energy signatures appeared. The electromagnetic pulses grew stronger, more organized. The gravitational readings spiked. It's sending something, Morrison said, pointing to a subsidiary display. A signal, directional, focused. Where's it aimed? Commander West demanded. Marcus worked the controls, tracing the signal's path. His face went pale. Earth. It's targeting Earth. The implication struck everyone simultaneously. Whatever this thing was, it had traveled across interstellar space, waited in silence as it approached our solar system, and was now actively communicating with or targeting our planet. Can we intercept the signal? Decode it. Elena asked. Already trying. Yuki answered, her fingers flying across her interface. But it's using frequencies and modulation patterns I've never seen before. It might take hours to decrypt, if we can decrypt it at all. We don't have hours, Morrison said grimly. Look at the acceleration curve. At its current rate, 3i Atlas will reach Earth's orbit in 72 hours. The number hit them like a physical blow. 3 days. They had 3 days to understand what this thing was, what it wanted, and whether it posed a danger to their home planet. Commander West's training took over. All right, listen up. Morrison, forget alternative communications. Use the emergency beacon. Broadcast everything we have on all frequencies. Someone down there needs to know what's coming. Tanaka, focus on that signal. I want to know what it's saying. Chun, calculate possible trajectories. Will it pass by Earth? Or is it on a collision course? Reyes, you're with me. We need to prepare the emergency protocols. As the crew scattered once more, Elena followed Commander West to the station's command center. The small room housed the critical systems that kept them alive. Life support, power management, and the emergency escape vehicles. You think we might need to evacuate? Elena said. It wasn't a question. West's jaw tightened. If that thing is hostile, if it poses a direct threat, the station could be in its path. We need to be ready for any scenario. What about Earth? If we evacuate, we're going straight into whatever that object is heading toward. One crisis at a time, Doctor. West pulled up the evacuation protocols on her screen. Right now, we gather information. We make informed decisions. We don't panic. But panic was exactly what Elena felt building in her chest. She thought about her family on Earth, her mother in Barcelona, her brother in Chicago, her nieces who loved to hear stories about space travel. She thought about the 7 billion people who had no idea that something incomprehensible was speeding toward them. An alarm shattered the relative quiet of the command center. Commander West's communicator lit up with an urgent message from Marcus. "Commander, you need to see this. All of you, now." They rushed back to the main lab, where the entire crew had gathered once more. The main screen showed 3i Atlas, but it had changed again. The object had fully unfolded now, revealing its true size and structure. It was enormous, easily 30 kilometers across, a vast construction of angles and curves that hurt to look at, as if the human mind wasn't meant to comprehend its geometry. But that wasn't what had prompted Marcus's urgent summons. "The signal stopped," he explained. "And then this happened." He played back footage from 5 minutes earlier. The cosmic anomaly had emitted a single, powerful pulse of energy. Not electromagnetic radiation, not gravitational waves, but something else entirely. The station sensors had recorded it, but couldn't classify it. "That pulse traveled faster than light," Yuki said, her voice shaking. "That's impossible, but the math is clear. Whatever that was, it reached Earth 30 seconds after emission." "What happened?" Morrison demanded. "What did it do?" "We don't know, but 12 ground-based observatories immediately went offline. Just stopped transmitting. Then the Hubble Space Telescope, the James Webb, every major astronomical instrument, they're all dead in the water." Elena's mind raced. "It's not an attack. It's a scan. It knocked out our observation equipment because it's examining Earth without interference. It doesn't want us watching it while it works." "Works at what?" Commander West asked. No one had an answer. The next 20 hours were the longest of Elena's life. The crew worked in shifts, monitoring the anomaly, analyzing data, and attempting to reestablish communication with Earth. They succeeded only partially. The emergency beacon broke through the interference, but responses were limited and fragmented. What they learned wasn't comforting. The pulse from 3i Atlas had affected more than just observatories. Power grids across North America and Europe had experienced brief failures. Satellites in geostationary orbit had gone temporarily dark. Most disturbing, people reported experiencing a moment of complete sensory disorientation, a few seconds where sight, sound, and physical sensations simply stopped. Earth was in chaos. Governments scrambled to understand what was happening. Military forces worldwide went to high alert. Conspiracy theories exploded across social media. And through it all, 3i Atlas continued its relentless approach. Elena hadn't slept. None of them had. She floated in the observation deck again, watching Earth, wondering if she would ever set foot on its surface again. The door hissed open behind her. Marcus joined her at the window. "Any updates?" she asked. Yuki made progress on the signal. She managed to decode fragments of it. He paused, clearly struggled with what to say next. "It's not a communication. It's a diagnostic." "What do you mean?" "The signal is analyzing Earth's electromagnetic signature, atmospheric composition, biological markers. It's cataloging everything. Every transmission we've ever made, every satellite, every source of artificial light. Elena, it's building a complete profile of human civilization." "Why?" Marcus met her eyes. "That's what terrifies me. Because there are only 2 reasons I can think of for such a comprehensive scan. Either it's determining if we're worth making contact with, or it's assessing us as a threat. Maybe both." Before Elena could respond, alarms blared throughout the station. They rushed to the lab, where they found Commander West already on the communicator with Earth. "Confirmed," she was saying. "We're seeing it too. Stand by." She turned to the crew, her face grim. 3i Atlas has changed course. It's no longer heading toward Earth orbit. It's heading directly for Earth itself. The room erupted in overlapping voices, questions, and exclamations. Commander West raised her hand for silence. The trajectory puts impact somewhere in the Pacific Ocean in 48 hours. Ground control estimates the kinetic energy alone would be equivalent to several thousand nuclear weapons. Impact. Morrison's face had gone white. That would be an extinction-level event. Not necessarily, Yuki interjected, her fingers dancing across her interface. The object's density is wrong. It's too light. Even at 30 kilometers across, it wouldn't create a dinosaur-killer impact, but the damage would still be catastrophic. Tsunamis, atmospheric disruption, millions of casualties. Elena's mind refused to accept what she was hearing. This couldn't be happening. First contact with an extraterrestrial intelligence shouldn't end with humanity's destruction. There had to be another explanation, another purpose. Wait, she said suddenly. What if it's not an impact? What if it's a landing? Everyone turned to look at her. Think about it, Elena continued, the theory crystallizing as she spoke. Every action it's taken has been deliberate, controlled. It concealed itself as a comet until it was well within the solar system. It scanned Earth thoroughly. It's capable of faster-than-light communication. Why would something so advanced simply crash into us? Then what's it doing? Commander West asked. I think it's coming to meet us, face to face. The idea hung in the air, both hopeful and terrifying. First contact. Humanity's long-imagined moment of meeting another intelligent species. But under these circumstances, with as much uncertainty and fear, the dream felt more like a nightmare. Over the next 36 hours, the world watched and waited. The major powers of Earth scrambled to respond. Nuclear missiles were readied. Though every scientist who examined the situation agreed, they would be useless against something that could manipulate space-time itself. Evacuation efforts began along every Pacific coastline, though where people could evacuate to remain unclear. If 3i Atlas truly intended an impact, nowhere would be truly safe. On the station, the crew maintained their vigil. They had become humanity's closest observers of the approaching anomaly, providing real-time data to ground control and the scientific community. Elena barely left the lab, subsisting on recycled water and nutrition packs, her eyes burning from staring at screens for hours on end. Elena! Marcus's voice pulled her from her latest analysis. It's time. She looked at the chronometer. He was right. 3i Atlas would reach Earth in less than an hour. The entire crew gathered in the observation deck, where they had the best view of Earth. Below them, their home planet turned slowly, oblivious and beautiful. Elena could see the Pacific Ocean, vast and blue, where the anomaly would arrive. Ground control reports all unnecessary personnel have been evacuated from the projected impact zone. Commander West said quietly, essential services remain. Emergency response teams are standing by. This is it. They waited in silence, each person lost in their own thoughts, their own prayers or hopes or fears. Elena thought about humanity's long journey from caves to cities, from stone tools to space stations. Were they about to witness the end of that journey, or the beginning of a new chapter? There, Yuki breathed, pointing. In the distance, beyond Earth's curve, something appeared. A point of light, brighter than any star, moving with impossible speed. 3i Atlas had arrived. The object slowed as it approached Earth, its velocity decreasing in defiance of physics. No rockets fired, no propulsion systems visible, yet it decelerated from thousands of kilometers per second to a relative crawl. It entered Earth's atmosphere, and Elena expected to see the fireball of re-entry, the catastrophic compression of air that should accompany such a massive object. Instead, the atmosphere seemed to part around it. No friction, no heat, no shockwave. It descended through the sky like a stone through water, gentle and controlled. The Pacific, Marcus whispered. It's heading for the Pacific, just as predicted. The anomaly reached the ocean's surface. Again, instead of the violent impact they expected, the water simply opened beneath it. The object sank into the depths, and the ocean closed over it as if nothing had happened. No splash, no displacement wave, no tsunami. For a long moment, nothing happened. The crew stared at Earth, waiting for something, anything. Then the ocean began to glow. A soft, blue-green luminescence spread from the point where 3i Atlas had entered the water. It expanded outward in a perfect circle, growing larger and larger until it encompassed thousands of square kilometers. The light pulsed in time with the same rhythm they had observed from the object's electromagnetic signature, a cosmic heartbeat. What's it doing? Morrison asked. Before anyone could answer, Every screen in the station flickered to life simultaneously. The laboratory displays, the navigation systems, even the small personal tablets each crew member carried. All of them showed the same thing, a message, not in English or any human language, not in mathematical symbols or pictographic communication. Instead, it was pure meaning, understanding that bypassed language entirely and spoke directly to consciousness. Each crew member experienced it differently, yet understood the same content. We observe, we learn, we judge. Your species stands at a threshold. You have reached beyond your world. Touch the cosmos with your curiosity and ambition. This is a first test. Every spacefaring civilization faces it. The moment when they discover they are not alone. We are the architects. We have watched countless civilizations rise and fall across the galaxy. We seed the cosmos with markers, like the one you call 3-Eye Atlas. When a species becomes capable of detecting our markers, we come to assess. You are young, violent, divided, yet you possess potential, creativity, resilience, the capacity for growth. We offer a choice. First contact does not have to mean conflict or submission. We propose partnership, exchange of knowledge, guidance through challenges that await you among the stars. But the choice must be unified. One voice for one world. You have 72 hours to decide. If you accept, we will share technologies that will transform your civilization. If you refuse, we will depart and return in 1,000 years to assess you again. If you attack us, we will defend ourselves, and you will lose more than you can imagine. The decision is yours. We wait beneath the waves. The message ended. The screens went dark. The crew floated in stunned silence, each processing what they had experienced. Elena felt tears on her face, surprised to find herself crying. It wasn't fear anymore, or even relief. It was awe. The universe had just revealed itself to be far more wondrous and terrifying than she had ever imagined. "Commander," she said softly, "we need to get home. Humanity has a decision to make, and I think we need to be part of that conversation." Sarah West nodded, her expression a mixture of determination and wonder. "Agreed." Morrison prepped the emergency vehicles. "We're going home." As the crew scattered to prepare for departure, Marcus caught Elena's arm. "What do you think we'll choose?" Elena looked out the window at Earth, at the glowing ocean, at the home of humanity, standing on the precipice of its greatest moment. "I think," she said slowly, "that we're about to find out what we're really made of, as a species, as a civilization. This is our test, Marcus, not from the architects, from ourselves. Can we unite? Can we set aside our differences long enough to speak with one voice? That's the real question. And if we can't?" Elena smiled, though her heart ached with uncertainty. "Then we'll wait another 1,000 years and hope we've learned something by then. But I have to believe we're ready. We've come too far, survived too much, dreamed too long about this moment to fail now." The space station began its preparations for the crew's departure. Earth turned below, its nation scrambling to respond to an ultimatum that challenged the very foundation of human society. In the depths of the Pacific Ocean, something ancient and powerful waited, patient and implacable. Dr. Elena Reyes strapped herself into the emergency vehicle, her crewmates beside her, preparing for the journey home. She thought about the message, about the choice facing humanity, about the future stretching out before them full of possibility and peril. The cosmic anomaly at 3-Eye Atlas had been a warning, a test, and an opportunity. How humanity responded would determine not just their immediate future, but their place among the stars for generations to come. As the vehicle's engines fired and they began their descent toward Earth, Elena whispered a prayer to no particular deity, just a hope cast into the universe. "Let us be worthy. Let us be ready. Let us choose wisely." The vehicle entered Earth's atmosphere, a small spark of human determination falling toward a world that would never be the same. Behind them, the space station continued its eternal orbit, a symbol of humanity's dreams and aspirations. Below them, billions of people awaited news, their fate hanging in the balance. The story of the cosmic anomaly at 3-Eye Atlas was far from over. In many ways, it was just beginning, and humanity's response would echo across the cosmos for centuries to come, a testament to what they truly were. Fragile, ambitious, divided, yet somehow, against all odds, still reaching for the stars. The end was actually a beginning, and in that moment of transition, suspended between Earth and space, Elena Reyes understood that this was what she had always dreamed of, not the comfort of certainty, but the magnificent terror of discovery. The universe had spoken. Now it was humanity's turn to answer.